Hi, good afternoon and welcome to Moneycontrol. We're here to give you a commodities update. I'm Karunya and with me is Manisha Gupta. All eyes today on two soft commodities, sugar as well as coffee prices. Let's first talk about sugar because we've seen even the stocks retreat a fair bit. Technicals are not looking good for any of the sugar companies right now given the way they have rallied. Is it similar to what's happening in the commodities as well because sugar prices have they peaked?
They seem like in the near term for sure, and I think the sugar stocks could be taking some cues from sugar as a commodity as well, because we did see 21 cents a pound of a 2-year lows in sugar, rather 6-year lows in sugar, and that is what led to a lot of commodities running up. But since then we have seen constant decline. One, the year end always leads to book closing, so you have those speculative trades, commercial trades also winding up, and then the markets do believe that Brazil, especially the major producer of the sugar, will go more towards sugar rather than ethanol, because we've seen the crude oil prices come off. There also is no mandate, no pushing urgency to create more ethanol. With the crude prices coming off, the ethanol production isn't so strong as well. And then India's production is going well. Thailand production also seems to be getting slightly better. It is harvest season on top of it, and we have enough sugar coming into the market. So all of that put together, and yes, there is some pressure now finally come in case of sugar, which wasn't the case in the second half of 2022. We saw sugar running up, sugar stocks running up, so there is that amount of profit taking.
So from here on, what would be a reasonable level for sugar for one to look at?
So the markets do believe that we've seen a peak for the near term here, and the prices are not expected to go too down as well, because there is enough demand when you look at this time, especially in India where you have still wedding season coming up after 15th of January. So the demand is expected to be stronger at 27.5 million tons. Some of the sugar companies have quoted number stronger than that as well, but it does look decent, and I think we are now getting consolidation at these levels.
Okay, how about coffee? I mean, those have also come off multi-month lows.
Oh yeah, 16-month lows at this point in time, and coffee has seen a very strong sell-off in last couple of sessions. If last year was a 23 to 26% of a decline, we have started this year on a very weak note as well. For coffee as well, I remember we were talking earlier that there is less coffee in the exchange, and there perhaps is a lot more coffee outside. And now because there are no takers outside for coffee, a lot of this coffee has landed on the exchange. So when you look at the numbers, and these are very interesting, in November you had 380,000 bags of coffee on the exchange. By December that has gone up to 814,000 bags.
Wow.
So more than double. That means there is no takers outside, and all of this coffee is just landed on the exchanges warehouses.
But what happened to the fact that we were talking about the growing coffee consumption and demand and everything? For now, is it all looking subdued?
There's billions of cups of coffee that is being consumed even now for that matter. But the Europe consumption for one has gone down. When you look at the other emerging market, the incremental growth is still on there, but the number per capita consumption for India and the quantity that we consume is much lesser. I mean, we're not drinking coffee every day in the morning. If we are, we're drinking very small quantities there. So that is what the markets are looking at.
Talk about yourself.
There are some days I don't drink coffee at all. So yeah, the demand, Europe, US, which are the major drivers of this, the incremental growth is not there. Inventories are strong, the crop is looking good, exchange warehouses show huge amounts of coffee lying there. So yeah, for some time, and as we always speak, that this is the wholesale prices, these are the exchange prices. Will they come down as a retail pricing, and will there be a correction there? Maybe not.
Well, clearly going by the trend that has been so far, unlikely to see any relief there. But if we look at the entire gamut of soft commodities, agro commodities, barring coffee, sugar, either of them or a third commodity perhaps that's looking attractive right now after the correction?
Chocolate. While you have both of these commodities there, but cocoa is trading at a 7-month highs right now, and that is because that is where you have lower availability into the markets, and I think people sitting at home have had a lot of chocolate. So when you look at those numbers, those surprisingly have seen an increase. So even as you would look at the overall FMCG basket there, a lot of commodities may not have done well, but that is not the case with chocolate. That demand, cocoa demand, definitely has been strong.
Yeah, I for one am guilty of consuming a lot more chocolate, but on that sweet sugary note, we'll wrap up today's conversation. Thank you for watching.